Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today we're going to read the last chapter of Trillion, the Three-Headed Lion. How you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. Let me turn down the music. Since this is the last chapter, I figured I'd choose something more epic for the music. Chapter 10, The Lion's Gate. A triumphant roar from Trillion made Tom turned away from the Dark Wizard. Tagus was falling back, his strength failing. The great lion was overpowering him. The battle would soon be lost. Remember my words, Melville, mocking his call. Melville's mocking voice called. I shall, Tom shouted defiantly. But they won't stop me. His sword wasn't able to break through the invisible wall, but he held more power rising up through his body. Power that was coming from the golden boots. Could they destroy the magical barrier? He brought one foot back, and then he let fly with a powerful kick. There was a noise so loud that it sounded like the sky shattered. Marvel let out a howl of rage. The invisible barrier was gone. Tom ran forwards, but suddenly both his sword and shield flew from his grip. Melville was stopping at nothing. Tom, no, get back. Tom, no, get back, Helena called. You'll be killed. I don't need any weapons, Tom shouted, his whole body tingling with energy. My armor gives me all the strength I need. Tagus was down, still swinging with his sword as the evil beast loomed over him. Tom leaped at the lion, grabbing one of his manes, digging his heels into Trillion's shoulders. He heaved backwards. Trillion stumbled to one side, taken unaware by Tom's assault. But turned his head quickly, the jaws opening. Undaunted, Tom thrust his arm into the lion's mouth. The golden armor held. Tom saw the lion's teeth shattering into shards. With a roar of agony, the head reared back, blood dripping from its foaming lips, and the lion dropped back onto his haunches. All three heads pulled away from Tom, the 6 eyes filled with pain, and one of Trillion's huge paws shot forwards towards him. The claws unheaved. Tom knocked the paw aside with a single blow of his fist. Again Trillion roared, and his eyes glittered with a furious light. Rearing up, he prepared to bring all his mighty weight down on Tom and crush him to the ground. But as Trillion lifted himself onto his hind legs, Tom saw his opportunity. Instead of running away from the beast, he lunged forwards, his arms up above his head, pushing against Trillion's underbelly. The armor had made him so powerful that he was able to force the lion backwards. "I'm stronger than you now," Tom shouted. "You failed." Roaring and snarling, Trillion fell back, his claws useless, his 3 sets of teeth biting at the air. Tom pushed again and again, driving the beast closer to the lake. He had never been so determined. Too late, the evil beast realized his peril. Trillion tried to writhe away and avoid the water, but Tom was merciless. With a final mighty shove, he sent the lion plunging into the lake. The water foamed as the beast thrashed helplessly, but the more Trillion struggled, the deeper he sank. His thick fur becoming waterlogged, and his great manes dragging him further down. Tom stood at the water's edge, unable to tear his eyes away from the dreadful sight, as the lion fought to keep afloat. There was terror and fury in the 6 green eyes as the water closed over the 3 heads. A paw broke the surface for a moment, and then Trillion could be seen no more. Bubbles boiled and there was a strange hush. The roaring of the 3-headed lion was silenced forever. Forever. Elena stood at Tom's side. She rested her hand on his shoulder. "You did it," she said quietly. "You defeated the most powerful beast Mel had ever sent." But Tom frowned. All the evil beasts had fought in his quest for the golden armor had dissolved into small versions of themselves after he had beaten them. He was expecting the same to happen with Trillion, but the lake's surface was clear and smooth. He looked at Elena. "There aren't any little lions," he said. "Why do you think that is?" "I don't know," Elena said. "Perhaps." Her words were interrupted by a low rumbling sound that made the ground tremble under their feet. The surface of the lake began to shiver. Ripples spread from the place where Trillion had last been seen. The water surged and heaved, and a deep growl shook the air. Then the waters parted as a vast, domed shape rose majestically out of the lake, black as ebony, running with water and shining darkly in the sun. It towered above the 2 friends, shedding rivers of lake water. A statue of a huge lion's head stood before them, its jaws wide open. A causeway had formed between it and the shore, and a path led through the enormous teeth. "It's a gateway," Tom murmured in awe. "Leading where?" Helena wondered. I don't know, Tom replied. But I have to follow the path. Something is drawing me forwards. It could be dangerous, Helena warned. Melville may have created it. Tom looked back. The dark wizard had vanished. That doesn't matter, he said. He took his magical compass from his pocket and held it out in front of him. It had been left to him by his father, Taladon the Swift, and had already saved him multiple times. The needle pointed to destiny. A powerful certainty filled Tom. I know where Melville has gone, he said. He pointed to the open jaws. He's beyond the gateway, and I think Eldru is there too. He looked at Elena. I have to go. You mean we have to go? Elena corrected him. Tom turned and saw Storm and Silver were right behind them. Not for the first time, he was grateful to have such loyal friends. Tom took Storm's reins and strode out onto the causeway, his horse following fearlessly. Elena walked at his shoulder, her hand in Silver's gray fur as he paced alongside her. The air shimmered all around the lion's jaws, tingling on Tom's skin and making his hair stand on end. As the four companions paused before the gaping fangs, Tom's golden armor glowed in the sunlight. He and Elena exchanged glances. Ready? Tom asked. Ready, Helena assured him. Then the four friends walked into the Lion's Gate, following the path that would lead them to their next adventure. Tom had a destiny to fulfill. The quest was far from over. Join Tom on his next beast quest and meet Torgor, the Minotaur. And that was Series 2. Oh my god. I think the second series is one of my favorites. Arachnid, the King of Spiders, is the first Beast Quest book I've ever read. And now I've finished the second series. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the second series of Beast Quest. And I hope I will see you in the third series with Torgor, the Minotaur. I'm gonna get the book real quick. Yeah. I think it's Tuesday today? Or Thursday? I don't know. Yeah, on the next Tuesday or Thursday, whatever day it is, next, I'm reading this book. Torgor, the Minotaur. Pretty epic. They keep getting better. But yeah. Hope you guys like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you guys are interested in me reading the third series of Beast Quest. Well, bye-bye everyone. See you next Tuesday or Thursday. Bye. I'm gonna